Samantha, have you ever thought about murdering people?
I mean, I do watch a lot of Snapped and confession tape shows. So yeah.
Hope it's not me. Nonetheless, this is Comics Covered for the week of August 14, 2019, episode 86. Other than murdering your loved ones, we talk about comic books here in Comics Covered and the world around them. The comics industry, movies, TV, games. We'll also talk spoilers and we'll warn you about them. I'm Jack. I'm still very new to comics. So new that I'd be a prime target for a serial killer who is targeting new people to comics.
Well, if that's the case, then I would go way before you.
Probably. I mean, I feel like this theoretical person would be working down a list of like, okay, they've read this many issues.
Right.
They take a lot of tracking, honestly.
I mean, I'm pretty far behind. If you look at my my list, my order to read list on my notes, I'm pretty behind you.
But is that more of a thing of how much we've gotten that both of us haven't read, or is that more of a thing of I've read more of that? Because
you've definitely read more of that list than
maybe.
Not. Definitely.
So, I mean, if they get a hold of that list, yeah, you're a goner.
I'm gone.
You're a goner, so I'm sorry.
No, it's fine, because it might be the opposite.
What
if it's those who are more into the comic world?
Mm-hmm.
Then, I'd be one of the last ones.
You would be. That'd be great. I mean, I would think, like, if he was a serial killer really obsessed with this, how would he kill his people? Like, I feel like it would be some semblance of, like, paper cuts. Like, paper cut someone with a comic book a bunch of times? That would be terrible.
It would take too long.
It would take a long time.
That's not efficient.
It would be a really, like,
they would get caught.
Storytelling.
Yeah, and they would get caught before they would accomplish their goal. So, no.
Okay, well, we'll get off the murder part of this podcast.
But I'm Samantha. I didn't introduce myself.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
I'm still pretty new in the comic world, but I'm making my way up there.
You're making your way back to you, babe.
Yeah.
We've been really bogged down by our weekly comics these last 2 weeks. We've had a lot.
Oh, yeah.
I'm actually really excited because we'll get to this, but we have a much smaller week next week, so maybe we'll actually be able to read stuff that's outside of our weekly comics next week.
What is that book that I'm currently reading now? Marvel?
Are you reading Marvels? No, Kingdom Come.
Kingdom Come.
You got your two Alex Ross.
Yeah. So I was kind of right because it's both Alex Ross.
It's close.
But yeah, so I've been reading Kingdom Come for the past 3 weeks, but unable to read the last half because of our weekly comics.
You're halfway through.
Halfway.
Samantha, tell me, because I want to know your experience at this point in the series. Who are the good guys and who are the bad guys in Kingdom Come?
I don't even remember what's happening.
So
I would need to take a second.
At the beginning, we're introduced to like a future world in the DC universe where Superman is older, Wonder Woman's older, and a new breed.
Oh yeah, and it's like their children, kind of.
Well, the new heroes,
right,
have become the popular ones, and they're using guns and being all violent and stuff.
Right.
Sort of marking the changes in comics that came in the 90s, or the ultra-violent sort of phase of it.
Yeah.
So, at this point, Superman, Wonder Woman, and the people that they've recruited to come back have been, trying to take that back.
Right.
And there have been some people that have been trying to stop that. Do you remember who those were?
No.
Like Bruce Wayne. An older Bruce Wayne. Lex Luthor.
Right.
So, right now, where you're at, they are doing a really good job at sort of looking at the heroes as, Superman and Wonder Woman being very, very, they're good. They're trying to make it like it was before. Hopeful and great and, justice, truth.
Right.
While Lex Luthor and Bruce Wayne have been sort of working against them, where they think that the world should evolve from here.
Yeah, but the way that it's evolving is through violence, and what they were showing was that, like, the new heroes had no regard for the citizens.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they just wanted to fight for what they believed in.
Yeah.
Which is wrong.
Yeah. No, I agree with you completely. I'm really excited for you to read more because
I feel like I'm not, like, they're not showing me something, and then there's going to be something where you're like, oh, wait. No, now they're wrong. Yeah, there's going to be a change.
Yeah.
Soon.
There's definitely a turn in that series, and it's great. I'm so excited for you to get there. Kingdom Come by Mark Waid and Alex Ross. Yeah. Look it up. There's also a follow-up that I really want to read someday. I think it's called,
what is it?
I think it's called Justice.
It's just called Justice?
It's just Is. What if it's just called Is?
Okay.
Sorry, I'll stop. I feel like that joke doesn't really read well over radio or podcast.
Kind of does.
Yeah?
I think it does.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's just Is, you know.
Yeah.
Well, Samantha, we had a lot of books this week. We haven't read all of them, but do you want to start talking about them?
Sure.
Cool.
All right, so of what we had this week, our large stack.
Yes. I just wanted to interject here and say that last week I didn't have the patience to put in our horn section.
Oh.
I know.
How dare you?
It was bad. I don't know if I'm going to do it. We did just have a silence, so I could have it easily... So we could be talking nonsense right now, and I could have just done it.
Oh.
But who knows? We do it in post, so it's okay. Samantha, what did we read this week? Or what are we going to read at least?
We read Black Hammer Justice League, Hammer of Justice number 2, Detective Comics number 1009.
The actual 1000. By the way, Marvel Comics 1000. Have we talked about that yet? Do you know that there's not actually a Marvel Comics series that went to 1000?
No. But they did in 1000 of something.
No.
Didn't they?
No.
I thought they did.
They are literally just making this up so that they can have a Marvel Comics 1000.
Wow.
It's really stupid.
Okay.
I'm going to take over here because I like reading these too.
Okay.
And I'm excited. Because I have... Oh, sorry, this wasn't even your book. Event Leviathan, number 3. Which, I don't know if I've told you, is actually called Event Leviathan. And I don't know why.
What do you mean?
Well, it's like... Just call it Leviathan. There's nothing in there that's like an event called Leviathan.
Right.
They're just calling it Event Leviathan. And also early in the series, they had this like blacked out like way to show the title, and they literally blacked out the event of Event Leviathan. I'm pretty sure they actually want to call it Leviathan, but they can't because there's
so weird.
Because there's a current comic on the stands called Leviathan by John Layman.
Wow. Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's the reason, but
that would make sense.
But there you go. Halfway through that series. I'm really excited to read this one. I haven't read that one yet. Nice. We also have Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man number 10, Gideon Falls number 16, Invaders number 8, which, by the way, I'm so surprised it didn't only go to 6 issues, and I'm really interested to see if it goes past 12.
I hope so. It's great so far.
It's fantastic. So... It keeps being fantastic.
I mean, I haven't read this week, so I can't say that, but... Yeah. What is this, number 8? So numbers 1 through 7 were fantastic.
What if this week just sucks? What if it's terrible?
All the ones that we haven't read this week.
Oh my god.
Just sucked.
Oh my god, that'd be terrible. Stop it.
Yeah.
We have Oblivion Song number 18, which we did read. Outer Darkness number 9. Powers of 10.
Thank you.
Number 2. I love it when comic series have numbers in the title.
Yeah.
Because I think it makes it sound really confusing when you say...
10, number 2, yeah.
10, number 2, number 3. Like, it's...
Right.
Come on.
Right.
What is it? 7 to Eternity, number 14.
Right.
I'm really excited for you to read that series.
Me too.
We also had Silver Surfer Black, number 3. Silver Surfer, The Prodigal Son, number 1. And White Trees, number 1. A new series by Chip Zdarsky. Samantha, can you give this week our weekly... spoiler warning. Oh.
I added a little.
Did you now?
Yeah.
That's great. That's not part of the usual sound?
No, that is.
Oh.
The
Got it. Sorry. I didn't know. I can't tell, honestly, because our sound is usually very inclusive, of everything.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Well, that's our spoiler warning, and we're going to talk some specifics about some books that we actually read. So, here you go. Let's go off to the races with Powers of 10, number 2. our weekly catch-up of Samantha being exposed to the X-Men universe via Jonathan Hickman. Mm-hmm. Samantha literally just read this.
Yeah.
Like, literally...
I literally just ate dinner, got the book, and walked and read it.
Tell me your experience, since it's fresh in your mind.
I mean, walking and reading it is not the best.
Not really conducive to understanding.
Not. It's good.
Okay, let's hear it.
I don't know. It's a lot. It's so much.
Okay.
And I feel like I have no background in this, and I feel like I get lost with the characters, and there are a lot of characters, and I don't know who they are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go through this.
Okay.
I didn't know a lot of these characters also. I just want you to know.
Oh, okay. So that makes me feel a little better.
Oh, yeah. I'm very lost.
Okay.
Whenever I read these Powers of 10 things and they go through, like, the entire history, and apparently people know who, like, Nimrod is, and I'm like, okay, he's some machine dude
but
who's
Nimrod
evil.
Is like, and in the English language, it's what you call, like, an idiot.
Yeah, I don't know if that's,
so
like,
I'm like, why would they call it that?
It's weird.
It is very strange.
I don't know if that's, like, I don't know. He acts like kind of a doofus in a way sometimes.
I guess.
I don't know. He's very funny, though.
Yeah.
Let's go through this series.
Okay.
This series is very confusing, so we're just going to go through the issue a page at a time.
Okay.
So we open up, sequence at a time. Whatever.
Okay.
We open up. We're in X0, year 1.
So,
of X-Men.
yeah, I understood this part.
We got this.
Because we got already acquainted with McTaggart.
Moira McTaggart.
I got it right.
Good job.
Moira McTaggart. So, yeah, and then she comes in with Charles, and then they see Magneto, correct? Mm-hmm. And then Charles and Magneto are talking, and they're like, Charles is trying to say that they need to work together, and at the end of this sequence, Magneto agrees.
Yeah, because Moira basically shows him through Charles all the lives that she has lived. And he's like, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But he's also like, if you ever show any sort of weakness whatsoever, I will call you out on it, and I will not go to you. You know, I will not yield. Because Magneto don't do that.
No, he doesn't. But it's good. Charles is like, yep, I wouldn't expect anything less.
So first 2 pages we got down.
Yes.
We're all good.
Totally understood that.
Totally good.
Yeah.
That's the introduction sequence. You know, you got the nice title page.
Yeah.
We're going through.
Okay,
now,
who the hell is that?
This guy?
Yes.
We saw him...
Scott
Summers.
Who is that?
We saw him in the first issue of House of X. You remember when the dude came out of the portal and he talked to the Fantastic Four?
Yes.
And was like, oh, okay, we'll get Sabretooth later.
Yes.
That's this dude.
Okay.
Cyclops.
Okay.
One of the first X-Men, actually. He was on the original team.
Got it.
So, he is most always Charles Xavier's first lieutenant.
Okay.
He is like one of the main dudes behind, Charles Xavier.
Okay.
So, he's up for the count. He just wants to understand everything. Tell me where to go and I'll solve it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
He says yes man.
Yes man? Oh, he's a yes man.
Yes.
Sorry. I thought you said he says yes man.
No.
And I'm like, I don't think he says yes man anytime. So he's asking what's going down. And they're like, bro, we got this thing called a mother mold going on with Master Mold. And that probably was a little lost.
Yeah. I just heard the word mold and thought, is there mold growing? Are they getting sick? They need to find the mold and get a guy to come remove it.
They do need to remove the mold.
They do.
Not for that reason, though.
Okay.
So, I actually learned what a master mold is. Mm-hmm. When I'm reading...
He looks like a cheese, by the way.
This guy?
Yeah. It looks like a cheese and then a drawing on a block of cheese.
I think it's a screen.
Yeah, but it's yellow.
It is.
And it looks like cheese.
I'll take that. I can take that. I can understand. Master molds are, like, things that Sentinels or machines grow out of. Where they, like, have a mold and they, replicate the same machine out of it. And those machines usually kill mutants.
Okay.
I learned this from reading the original Uncanny X-Men run in the 60s. I just learned about this. It's insane, honestly. It's kind of cool, though. So, they're apparently talking about a mother mold, which puts out other master molds, which will put out specific Sentinels that will murder mutants.
Right.
So they don't want that.
No.
So they're like,
they're mutants.
Scott, we want you to fucking kill this thing. By the way, we swear. We stopped warning about that.
Oh.
We
you
swear
were warning?
We used to warn them about our swears. But we stopped doing that because fuck them.
Fuck them. As my grandmother always said, shit, damn, fuck a dicky duck.
That's good.
Thank you.
Nice. Okay. Was that your grandmother from Brooklyn?
No. The one from Wisconsin.
Damn.
Yeah.
Good for her. So Scott's like, okay, we gotta do this. Okay, let's do this. And that's basically it.
Yep.
I think that's it. Oh, we get a little mention about Nimrod here.
Right.
And they think that this sort of mother mold is the birth of Nimrod. So obviously they're aware of this machine in hundreds of years in the future that is apparently some sort of AI overlord.
Right.
Which is crazy to me that that's a part of X-Men lore. Isn't it weird?
It's really weird. Yeah.
It's so strange that they just know about this thing that's going to come. Like, I have no idea about this.
Right.
And his name is Nimrod.
They couldn't find a better name that made him sound a little more ominous.
I mean, they probably meant it to be like that. They probably meant it to be
What are you going to call the next one? Twat?
Twat.
This is Twat. We must fear for our lives.
Oh no!
Twat is coming to get me.
Oh my gosh. I mean, when we get to hundreds of years later, we see Nimrod again. He's pretty intimidating. I mean, he murders people left and right.
Twat is pretty intimidating as well.
I mean, I'm always intimidated by twats.
Yeah.
We can't put we can't put the word twat in the title, right?
Probably not.
Probably not. Probably should. Okay,
not.
sorry. This is your nugget of information for the day. Okay, so Scott's like, bro, I'll take care of the master mold. Nimrod's gone.
Right.
Then we go into hundreds of years in the future. Nimrod's not gone.
Is that guy...
Wait, 1 second.
Okay.
So we go to hundreds of years in the future now.
Yes.
This is our next sequence, and we're on Asteroid K, where our protagonist mutants are holding their ground. What is your question?
Who are these people?
This guy, what is your guess? You're about to say it. This guy in the yellow... Wolverine! I
made the claw motions with my hands.
That's a fine answer.
which led to the signal to my brain to tell me it was Wolverine.
Exactly.
You know.
That is Wolverine.
It's a process.
Logan. He's great. You know, he has healing abilities, so he makes it to very old age.
Right.
Which is great. He throws off the census, the age, what is it?
The age census.
What is it? The death rate?
Average death.
Average age of death? Average age of death.
I guess so.
He throws it off.
Okay, and then who are those two people?
We met them last issue of Powers of X. Powers of 10. Sorry. Do you recognize?
Was that where one of their sisters or people was captured in that thing? And she was the one who could make it so they
were invisible. Silo Bell, I think.
Right.
And she was put into that green fluid thing.
Yeah.
So do you recognize her then?
Yes.
She had a giant sword. She tried to kick ass last issue.
Yeah. Now I remember.
Her name is Rasputin 4.
Okay.
You remember
Wasn't that the guy from Anastasia? Rasputin.
I mean, Rasputin was a real person from Russia.
Yeah.
He was.
So now it's just this woman warrior.
I think they're going for more the what's the M word? A metaphorical route of Rasputin.
What's the M word? Metaphorical.
It's mutant. Sorry. No, Rasputin 4, I think they just wanted a cool name.
Okay.
But you remember they were talking about in the last issue how there were different generations of bred mutants and like they tried to breed mutants with multiple powers and stuff like that?
Yeah.
The Chimera people, and she was one of them?
Yeah.
So, Rasputin 4, she's one of them. And this other dude was Cardinal. And he was in that last issue too. He teleported them out of there. But he said he wouldn't fight because he has like the pacifist sort of idea.
Right.
You remember that?
I remember that now. It's just hard out of context because they these people just pop out of nowhere. I've never seen them before.
But you have.
But I don't feel like I have.
I know. It's going to take a little bit, honestly.
Yeah.
Like there are 6 of these. We're only on number 2.
Yeah.
I feel like once we start like seeing them more and more, which it seems like the same cast of characters are coming up, I feel like we'll get a little bit more comfortable with them. But I will admit that I was definitely like needing to be like, okay, blue chick, Rasputin, got it, okay.
Right.
So, I understand. But we learn now that they were talking about, last issue, they were talking about, like, the old man. They were talking about who their leader was on Asteroid K over here. Mm-hmm. And we find out it was Apocalypse.
Yep.
Do you know who Apocalypse is?
I have a vague idea, but I don't remember.
You saw his movie. This is the same Apocalypse that the movie X-Men Age of Apocalypse was about.
Okay.
So he's that dude, but he's a better version of that dude.
Okay. Wow.
Funny story, Apocalypse was played by Oscar Isaac in that movie.
Oh.
He's the same guy that plays Poe Dameron in the Star Wars movies, that fighter pilot guy.
Yeah.
Very different characters.
Very different.
Apocalypse, quick introduction on him. He is one of the first mutants to ever, like, come about in ancient Egypt.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. He had a whole, like, god thing going on. People worshipped him. And he had a thing where he got, like, a bunch of different people's mutant abilities. So he's super powerful.
Okay.
So yeah, he's leading these people because he's basically immortal. And he's like, okay, we need to fucking, overcome the machines who have won this war in hundreds of years in the future.
Okay.
So yeah, that's basically what they're doing. They're like, we got data now. And then we get on Nimrod, who's murdering humans left and right.
Right.
Because they make, human comments. I love that he just does this because this guy just makes a stupid comment.
I mean, it was kind of a rude comment.
It was.
Not to murder him. Not enough to murder him, but like... I mean, come on. You know your boss.
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
It's
you
weird.
Want to die?
Like, this guy's making this look like he knows that that's a stupid comment to make. Like,
yeah.
Why would you do that?
It just doesn't make sense to me.
He's just a stupid little shit.
Like, if you know your boss is willing to murder anyone for anything and you just decide to do that, you have no chance.
Yeah. So he murders them, and Nimrod talks about how, whatever, it's not really that important, honestly. He just murders them. And I think this scene is meant to show us that Nimrod is very brutal.
Yeah.
And that he's not the cute, like, funny thing that we were kind of introduced to in the last issue. I don't know. Maybe not.
No, I can see that. To where, like, because the last one, he at least showed that he's like, I'm sorry that I have to do this.
He was saying it sarcastically, and it was... Yeah. But he didn't do anything ultra-violent, you know?
But now they're just showing how violent he can be.
Yeah. And he's like, what'd you fuckers steal? And they're like, dude, we stole this shit that we can learn about your inner workings.
Who is saying, what did you steal?
Nimrod is wondering what they stole from them.
Okay, yeah.
And then they're like, we stole this thing so that we can tell how you guys organize your data so that we can find out where the data we actually want to steal is.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, that's basically it, honestly. So yeah.
Okay.
100 years in the future, we got down.
Yeah.
Nice. We got it. Also, we learned who Zorn is. Zorn seems cool. He seems nihilistic.
Yeah, it's kind of strange.
Flaming head dude. That's about it. We get this talk about Nimbus. I assume this is how Nimrod came to be. He consumed other moons and shit, and he was an intelligence, and he orbited the Earth. That's about all I got from it.
Okay.
Thousands of years in the future, they want to be consumed by a higher intelligence so that they can... Ascend.
I got that part.
That is the part. I mean, that seems to be basically it. Nimrod's this little dude now.
Yeah.
And they want to be consumed by the phalanx. Which, by the way, isn't that the tongue? There's a larynx and a phalanx.
I think so.
Huh.
Sounds right.
Whatever. They consume intelligence.
Right.
And these people, mutants or machines, I think they're mutants. Thousands of years in the future.
Yeah, I think so too.
I'm still not very sure.
Okay.
I don't know.
I guess we'll find out.
They will find out, maybe. But the phalanx are going to consume them because they want it. And then we get all this talk about the different intelligences, and then we're done. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. That was Powers of 10.
I feel like I just had a whole, like college lecture.
I know. This is class. Now you can go to your next class and, have fun and drink and... Sorry, I was trying to be a professor.
Okay.
I should never be a professor.
No.
That would be very bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I know it's a lot. Would you say you're still enjoying like reading it, or would you say it's too overwhelming at this point?
No, I mean, I am enjoying it. I would like to continue it. I think it's just getting more used to it, and I need to just expect to not really know as much, since this is really my first thing about X-Men.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Honestly, for me, like, the experience is like, it's trying. I recognize some things, and then I'm totally confused by other things.
Yeah.
And then I learn like a little bit new with every issue. I feel like it's gonna be a lot of confusion just because Jonathan Hickman. I've been reading things online where people who have been reading all of X-Men are confused still. Oh. It makes me feel better.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. We'll find out. Maybe someday we'll just reread all this and it'll make total sense and it'll be amazing. Okay. But maybe not. I'm still getting through Black Monday Murders, which is another Jonathan Hickman one, which has a lot of fucking hieroglyphics and shit and...
Oh, great.
Oh, it's great. It's great shit. I love it. I love it, but it's a lot. Okay, well, Samantha, let's take this opportunity to go into a new series that we picked up this week. White Trees #1 by Chip Zdarsky. You had a smile on your face. Let's hear about it.
So, I've noticed in comics, there are many boobs. There's many a boob.
Lots of boobs.
Lots of boobs.
Many a boob.
But, we rarely get to see a peen. Mm-hmm. And this was a special moment where we got to see many a peen.
Mm-hmm. And peen is a penis.
Right.
Just want to make that clear.
Yeah. And it was nice because I think, Saga and Batman Damned.
Saga by Brian K. Vaughan.
Yes.
Batman Damned.
Azzarello?
Yeah. Is that Brian Azzarello?
I think. No?
I don't know.
Maybe I'm thinking
Let's call it Azzarello and call it a day.
Yeah, so those were the only two other comics that showed peen. So this was just very exciting. What?
I'm sorry, you're wrong.
What? Watchmen.
Blue penis.
Yes.
All up in her.
Yes, okay. Okay, so sorry. So this is the fourth one. But, you notice when it happens because it's just so rare.
Compared to other comics, it's very few and far between.
Yeah. But White Trees was really great. I mean, it started off sort of getting to know the characters and their plight and their journey.
Honestly, I felt like the beginning I felt like they were just getting the explanation of what's going to go on in this series out of the way.
Yeah, no, definitely. But they were also getting the personality of the characters. Like, I have to remind myself of their names because they have very strange names. You can pick it up.
It's right over there.
What's his name?
Krylos.
So yeah,
this red dude.
Yeah, the red dude. They just sort of tell who they are as people or beings. And yeah, and then all of a sudden there's a kind of switch that occurs.
Yeah.
And there's just like this giant orgy of I think these beings that they're doing it with are not real.
I think they're spirits of some sort.
Yeah, they're spirits of like the forest or something. Mm-hmm. And they're just all doing it.
Yeah. I got the idea that they're like seducing them into distracting them from their journey or something.
Yeah,
like that.
No, they definitely are.
But like the red dude is not having any of it.
No, he's just like standing there like, get the fuck off me.
Yeah.
He doesn't say it, but you can see it in his face.
So I'm just going to take this opportunity to set up the series. This series is about 3 war veterans who are brought back into sort of working for the government. Not really, though. They're brought back into combat because their children have gone missing. They've been abducted by the enemy side of the military. Mm-hmm. And they're on this journey together, and they come across these spirits who are trying to get in.
Literally and figuratively.
Quite literally.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought this series did such a good job at getting all the exposition out of the way.
Yeah.
And letting us get to know the characters and how they're working in this world. And sort of getting them on their adventure, getting them interacting with each other, because that's the meat of the story.
Yeah, especially since there's only one more, right?
There's only 2 issues.
Right, so I feel like they got so much accomplished that you're not feeling like, how the hell are they going to do this last one?
Yeah.
I have full confidence that it's going to be well-rounded and make sense.
Like, I still feel like I would want more of this, because I feel like they can do more.
That doesn't mean they might never do more. It might just be like an introduction, like, how is this received? And then,
yeah,
who knows?
You're right. Like, I think it's refreshing to have something that's just like, okay, here's the start of the story, and now it's going to end. Like, it makes reading other stories where you don't know when something's going to end, or, you know, when it's going to evolve into another story, better.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's great. I love this art. I really, really enjoy specifically the coloring of this art, honestly.
Oh, like, it's great.
I like the art, the line work, and everything like that, but I feel like the coloring just makes everything just feel so vibrant and life.
But it also makes it feel so much like you're in a different universe. Like, it's just very whimsical and fairy-like. I don't know. You know what I mean?
It's very into the fantasy world, like the fantasy genre.
Yeah, and the colors are very fantasy.
Yeah. Like, I'm gonna, like, on the contrary, I would say that something like Seven to Eternity, I love the art in that book, but I feel like the coloring of it doesn't make me feel as like this is a fantasy world and this is like crazy vibrant colors. It's more like grounded and more like darker. This, like, the concepts that they're dealing with in this book are somewhat dark.
Very dark.
It's contrasted somewhat by the, you know, like you said, whimsical, like, coloring, the vibrant, in-your-face, like, we're using a lot of pinks, a lot of reds, a lot of bright, warm colors.
Yeah.
And I think it really benefits from that.
It does.
So, yeah. I'm a big fan.
I'm a large fan.
Do you have, like, a particular, like, sequence that you really, really liked from this book?
I do. There's a page where, what was his name? Krylos? Mm-hmm. Krylos and, now I want to know all their names.
Oh. Scotiar?
Right, Scotiar.
And something. Where it's like, I know it's in the, we're turning to the page. It's something. It's something. Sir Davlion? It's Sir Davlion.
Is it that?
Yeah, Davlon.
Davlon?
So
Davlon
is the wolf-looking dude.
Scotiar and Krylos. Okay, I'm not going to remember that.
No.
So they 3 are heading out, going on their way, and then they come across this kind of like dragon being that just seems to come up to them and attack. And Krylos just sort of stands there. Right, no, they start attacking it. Mm-hmm. Sorry, the 2 of them, Davlion?
Yes.
And Scotiar start attacking, and Krylos is simply standing there. And they look at him like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
You're putting us in danger. You're going to get us killed. You need to fight.
I want to interject one thing. This whole time, we've also been introduced to Krylos's lack of a desire to partake in violence. He has seemingly laid down his sword after being in the war and is afraid to use it, honestly.
Right.
So they're like, dude, help us. And he's not doing anything.
No, he's not. But my favorite sequence is when he walks up to the dragon and just stares at it. And you get to see from like his perspective this face of the dragon where one eye is like has this arrow in it and he's bleeding. And he just looks like this wounded animal. And Krylos just looks at it like an equal and notices that there's a chain and breaks the chain and sets him free. So he can see, like, this animal was not attacking to try and kill you. He was a caged animal, basically. Mm-hmm. and he did the humane thing and let him go, set him free. So, I don't know. I really liked that sequence because there were no words. It was just the two facing each other, and then you just see this, like, humanity. I don't know. It was just really beautiful. It was really nice.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Do you find, like, for me, I find that silent sequences that have emotional impact like that hit a lot harder for me.
They do.
I love writing. I love dialogue. And I'm sure Chip Zdarsky had a part in writing this scene.
Yeah.
But...
Well, I think the reason it does is because you kind of put your own meaning to it and your own words in your head. Mm-hmm. And it's not just, like, given to you. So it asks for more of your interpretation. Yeah. Rather than just giving, this is what they're saying, you know?
And I honestly, like, even though writing takes longer to read theoretically than a picture, I feel myself reading silent sequences longer.
Oh yeah, I looked at this sequence for a long time. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because, I don't know, there's an appreciation there of, like, they're, you know, just with motionless pictures, they're putting motion in my head. Yeah. By me reading it. Like, it's... Yeah. I'm a big fan of Chris Anka, who is the artist on this book from now on.
Really good.
I don't know if...
We haven't read anything with him on it. Gotta look out for him.
Yeah, no, definitely. And honestly, I do really believe that the colors have a lot to do with this.
They do.
So I actually want to check that.
Who the colorist is?
It's, I think it's Piekos on the front.
Wilson.
Sorry, never mind. I was thinking about a different book. Matt Wilson doing the colors on this guy. Yeah, he's on the front cover along with the line art by Chris Anka and Chip Zdarsky writing, and he deserves it because it's a big part of this. Yeah. Yeah, this book is great. I would highly recommend anybody to go out and get it. Apparently...
Mature readers only because of the peen.
Oh, yes. Of course.
Says it on the back of the book.
I heard that...
I honestly didn't even see it till I finished the book, and I was like, oh, well, it's a good thing I'm a mature reader.
It's kind of weird that they put it on the back, isn't it?
Yeah, because what if it's like this, 10-year-old kid? Ooh, a fantasy book.
You must have something on the front.
What's that, Mommy?
You really don't have anything on the front?
No.
A black sandtail. Huh.
Yeah,
okay.
No, nothing.
That's all.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really, really excited. I learned that apparently this is not going to be collected anytime soon into a trade. So if you can find a loose copy... Yeah. Fucking do it. It's great. Yep. Okay. Well, Samantha, I want to move on into our talk about a sponsor, Blue Apron. Just kidding. We don't have any sponsors. We don't have anything against any sponsors whatsoever. So if you know someone in contact, just tell us. No, but we like keeping this casual. We get to talk about a product that we love. What product do you love?
Panda Puffs.
Panda Puffs.
By, I think it's EnviroKids.
EnviroKids?
Yeah.
It's a cereal they have in a lot of health food markets.
They have it at Ralph's too, Pavilions, like general markets. Okay. It's a gluten-free peanut butter cereal. Kind of like Reese's Pieces, right?
Without the chocolate part.
Right, no chocolate. Just the peanut butter. But it's great.
It's fantastic. I love Panda Puffs. Yeah. They have a whole line of animal cereals. They have Panda Puffs, they have Leap and Lemurs, they have Gorilla Munch, they have Koala Krispies. Yeah. I haven't had a good Koala Crispy in a while. Yeah. I should do that soon.
You should.
Okay. I'll put it on the list. So that's our sponsor for today.
That was our Panda favorite Puffs. Product of the week.
Give us money, please. Pay us for this. We're getting a lot of great, valuable content out of it.
Valuable content.
Thank you. That'll come later, too, in our outro. I always thought it was weird that people call it an outro. Because, it's just so that they can have a counter to intro.
Exactly.
Introduction, outroduction. Who says that? No one says that.
I would say it.
You would?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll talk about that later in our outroduction.
Cool.
Samantha, let's move on into another pretty great series. Silver Surfer, Black. Mm-hmm. Why is this Black?
I don't know.
Well, okay. Yeah. We'll find out, I guess, in the last 3 issues of the series. Yeah. I fucking love this series. I fucking love this goddamn art. And I fucking love the idea of... Have you ever heard of the most... shoot, what is it called? There's a movie, an old 60s movie, where people shrink themselves and go into someone's body, and they have a whole adventure inside the person's body.
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about.
That's this fucking issue, though.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
He goes into fucking Ego the Living Planet's body to find this fucking thing that's plaguing him.
Yeah.
And it's so goddamn cool. Donny Cates, great writer, but goddamn it, I'm sorry, he is not the star of this series. Tradd Moore showing all this shit as it's happening to Silver Surfer.
If he's not on drugs, honestly, I mean, how do you draw this stuff?
He probably, I mean, he might be.
It literally feels like you're tripping every time that you read this.
Yeah.
It really does.
I mean, yes. Honestly, I would have to agree with you. It's amazing shit. Like, some of the panel structure in here, too, like, there's this 2-page splash. I'm going to turn to it right now so Samantha knows what I'm talking about. But there's this 2-page splash where Silver Surfer is shown to be cutting through the core of Ego the Living Planet's, surfaces. And they show it with these, like, 3D planes that he's breaking through so that we can have a close look, magnifying look on, like, the type of material that he's going through. And it is so fucking cool. Like, it is some of the coolest panel work. Like, I have only seen panel work in this, like, comparable to Gideon Falls, I would say.
Right.
Like, and
that's a good comparison.
I just love this kind of shit where they are doing innovative shit, innovative storytelling, where our eye is following exactly where they want us to follow, and it is in such a dynamic way.
And it's very poetic at the same time.
Yeah.
So you get this incredible trippy art with, like, poetic dialogue, and not really dialogue, but, like, an inner monologue. Yeah.
It's great. It's amazing shit, and like, I don't know.
I don't know. When I first looked through it, the first one, before I read the first one, but when I first looked through it, it just kind of looked like it was crazy and all over the place.
Yeah.
And then you read it, and you're just, like, immersed in this fluidity. It's amazing. It's a great journey. In
context, it's just amazing storytelling, and it's not too crazy to get a load on it.
Not at all. If you look at it, I think, without knowing anything, it kind of overwhelms you.
Mm-hmm. I mostly, in this issue particularly, I want to talk about the ending. Do you know anything about the ending? And
no, I don't. I was going to ask you.
Great. I love it. He gets to the center of Ego the Living Planet.
Right, to see what's plaguing him.
And it ends up being this square, mechanical-looking thing that's growing as an incubator inside of him.
Right.
It is Galactus. Do you know who that is?
I don't remember.
So, Galactus is this character in Marvel who is an eater of worlds.
Okay, I kind of remember that.
Galactus is a giant being. He consumes worlds.
Yeah.
And in present-day Marvel, he has a being who is his herald, who goes to a planet before he consumes the world. That being is Silver Surfer.
Oh.
Silver Surfer, at the beginning of this, we see his past.
Right.
Norrin Radd was an alien on a planet, and someone came to destroy it.
Right.
Silver Surfer, or Norrin Radd in regular continuity, said, hey Galactus, I will do anything you want. I will be anything you want. I will join you if you spare this world.
Right.
And Galactus said, okay. So Silver Surfer, all this time, he is tortured by his time going to worlds, preparing them for,
their
eating.
End. Yeah.
Their end. Yeah. He was basically his chef, a planet chef.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just spit.
Ew.
That's what I do. I shouldn't spit on things.
No.
But, yeah. So, Silver Surfer at the end of this is placed with a very bad dilemma.
Yeah. What is he supposed to do here?
Yeah. Am I supposed to exorcise this, Galactus from Ego the Living Planet's thing? Or will that make me not exist?
Right.
Will that change everything? So, yeah. That's why it hits hard. This
God.
is literally the product of his enslavement for the last years of his life.
Okay. Wow.
Shit is crazy.
Damn.
I love it. I'm wondering if it means anything that a seemingly surfer has come in the beginning of this issue. Isn't that kind of weird?
It is very weird.
Because he's also... You see that he looks like he... let me just set this up. At the beginning of this issue, we seemingly are introduced to Norrinrad on his home planet, begging to save it from, quote-unquote, the Bringer of Doom, who looks like the Silver Surfer, but also looks like him as he's lost his power cosmic. Mm-hmm. You know how he doesn't look silver? He looks like...
Yeah.
He looks like his arm does right now.
Exactly.
The one that lost that sort of silvery glow.
Right.
So, is this some sort of weird time thing? Is this a different thing in the past? I couldn't tell you.
I don't know.
I wonder if we'll learn more. I have no idea.
I'm sure we will learn more.
But yeah.
We learned a lot from this one issue, so
yes.
I'm sure we will.
It's this series has just been so good. I feel like the Superstar has been tread more on art, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, Donny Cates is great, and he's been putting this art in perspective of, like, of what it means.
Right. In
a great way, but tread more. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
God, it's been great. So yeah.
Yeah.
What's our next series to talk about?
Well, what do we have?
I think it's this one, yeah.
Yeah, we have Black Hammer, Justice League. Okay.
The Hammer of Justice.
And we got the Matteo Scalera variant cover, which is awesome.
I don't usually do variants, but
when it's
Matteo Scalera, it is
it's so beautiful.
A wraparound, as they call it.
Okay.
A wraparound cover, and it's just... God, I saw this a few months ago, and I was like, okay, guys, I gotta order this specific variant for my pull. It's just amazing shit. Like, I love his art in general, but I've never seen him draw, like, Marvel DC people, or, Black Hammer people, that matter.
I'll say that.
He should do everything.
He should do everything.
If he drew this entire series, I would
I would love it.
God, I would cream.
Yeah.
Cream everywhere.
All the cream.
All the cream. You would cream too?
Oh, everyone would.
Who wouldn't?
Yeah.
But yeah, so check that out if you haven't yet. It's fantastic. Samantha, any thoughts about this series? Any thoughts about this issue?
Let me see. Let me remind myself.
Well, this is our second issue. So the first issue sort of tried to mirror the Black Hammer people with the Justice League people, and they got switched, basically. So our Black Hammer people are in Metropolis battling Starro the Conqueror, and our Justice League people are on Black Hammer Farm, trapped there for what they say is 10 years. Yeah. So they're in the same exact position as our Black Hammer people were.
And also, the Justice League people, who is it? It's Bruce Wayne comes across Sheriff Trueheart.
Yeah.
And he was the husband of
Abraham Slam's
girlfriend.
Yeah,
okay. Because I knew I recognized him.
Oh yeah, he's a fucking dick.
Yeah, he is.
There's a part in the regular Black Hammer series where Sheriff Trueheart disappears for a while.
Yeah, and then when he comes back, he's like the nicest dude ever.
He's like, oh,
yeah,
hey.
I'm so happy you guys are together. Look at you. Yeah, it's creepy.
Yeah. But he's a dick to Bruce Wayne. Because Bruce Wayne is, trying to find as much crime as he can.
Yeah, because he wants to be as helpful as he can, because that's what he does. So when he's not given anything to do, it kind of drives him crazy.
Yeah.
So he's, literally out searching for anything.
Yeah.
And then what is he? He says something ridiculous. Where is it?
There's some people loitering or something?
It was some little nonsense things.
Yeah. Well, because there's no crime here.
And then someone who, tipped cows.
Yeah.
And, that's horrible. But, come on.
Would you say it's horrible?
Don't spit again.
Sorry, I'll stop spitting. The problem with
from one animal over to another, yes, you should never tip a fucking cow. How would you like to be tipped while you're sleeping?
It's true.
Yeah, there you go.
Can you imagine sleeping, standing up, and
it
being
would be
tipped?
The most terrifying thing ever.
Yeah.
It would scar you for life. Mm-hmm. So imagine what it does to the poor cows who can't go to therapy and talk about how they've been tipped. All right. Anyway, yeah. So then we go back to Metropolis, right?
Yeah.
And Starro getting everyone.
Getting everyone. Slurping them.
Yeah.
That's usually the sound.
Slurping.
That they put for, like, the starfish going to their face.
Yeah.
Slurp. It's great.
Yeah. I don't know what else to say about this one.
Yeah, I mean, it just continues to be great. Colonel Weird has some great interaction with Jon Stewart, Green Lantern.
Yeah, and I like when he takes him into the Parazone. That part was really fun. I liked the art in the Parazone.
I was half expecting Colonel Weird to try and go into the Parazone, but he ends up going into, like, the Phantom Zone, which is, like, the Parazone in DC Universe. So I was actually interested that they actually let him go into the Parazone still.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see how they explain that, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's going to be great. This series has been fantastic. We also learned that the Flash has taken Black Hammer's role in sacrificing himself in trying to leave the farm.
Right. But I mean, the interesting part about that is the Flash's abilities. Like, could this all be done over or erased because of his, I don't know.
Like, do you think, like, him trying to go back in time or something? I mean, possibly. Maybe he was trying to do that and he was unable. I don't know. Like, I remember Black Hammer in the original series, he just tried to go outside the confines of where they were supposed to go.
Right.
But I wonder if he tried something different or if he'll learn something about that.
Yeah. I
don't know. I really liked Golden Gale's moment, too, because Golden Gale in this series, she's like the doppelganger of Shazam, but she's an old woman who becomes a child who has superpowers, and she swears all the time.
I liked what was it to Aquaman?
Yeah,
where she was like hitting on him.
Oh yeah.
Where have you been?
He's like, I feel very uncomfortable with
this. Because it's literally this little girl saying it to him.
Stop speaking like that. But yeah, it's just a great series. It's everything I would ever want, honestly, in terms of a crossover. Okay. Well, Samantha, we had a couple others that we read. Outer Darkness and Oblivion Song. Do you have anything to say about either of those?
Well, Oblivion Song, we were a little iffy on.
Yeah.
Because it just kind of seemed like they introduced these faceless men, and we didn't know what was going on, and it didn't seem like the writer knew what was going on either for a couple issues.
Let me talk about, the Faceless Men were just introduced as a part of this mirroring dimension to Earth.
Yeah.
They were the only other intelligent creatures that we saw in this other dimension.
Right.
And they've been evil this whole time. And I've personally been very mad that it's been such a long time where they seem evil, and I've always felt like they're not actually evil. This issue, we got a little bit more
clarity,
I would say. That they might actually be kind of evil.
Yeah, but it's like for multiple issues, you're questioning it, and so it's very frustrating. And then you get to this one, you're like, okay, so
here we go.
All right, let's get the momentum going. So, but then it's the end of the arc.
Yeah.
So
I think we're coming to a head, though, and we'll learn a little bit more. Because
I have loved Oblivion Song, the first 2 volumes, I think.
Yeah. I mean, we're in issue 18, so we've had a few, yeah.
Yeah, but I read, I think, consecutively.
The first
Didn't
2.
I read the first 2 volumes that were incredible. So I have faith in it. I'm not giving up on it.
I would say if the next issue is not very satisfying, I would be ready to leave it.
I might need 2.
It's so sad because it's been so
issues,
great.
Not just one more.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I understand. It's tough to leave a series that has been so good for so long, but is in sort of a rough patch.
Yeah.
And
because you feel like it could make a comeback.
Yeah, of course.
That's what I feel like could happen. So I'm hopeful that
that's how they get you.
It is.
Robert Kirkman. Do you know Robert Kirkman is literally like a leader, like part of the leadership in Image Comics?
That's awesome.
Like, I think he's like this. He's like up there. He's like CEO or some shit like that.
That's really cool.
It's not so but so.
It's really cool.
Anything about Outer Darkness? I love Outer Darkness.
It's just so cool. I love the just the idea of if you touch the weapons, then you become like this crazed being and you just try to murder everyone. And
the series has all been about like marrying sci-fi with mystical magic.
Yeah.
And it's done it great, I think.
And everyone's inner hatred towards someone.
Yes. And it's been in Star Trek where the captain is not necessarily the protagonist.
No.
He's an antagonist, if anything.
Yeah, but at the same time, then the people you thought were good are kind of looked at not so good in later issues.
Everyone kind of sucks here.
Yeah.
But I'm still into it.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
I think my favorite character is probably that. Is she a crone?
She's a crone.
Yeah, it's like that old lady with a cat. But then at night, she turns into this like hot woman.
Yeah, she's like she's a seer. She sees into the future and shit, and she's an awesome character. Yeah. I want more of her completely.
I want a whole issue devoted to her.
Yeah,
I think honestly, that would be really cool.
We'll probably get it. We're getting a lot of episodic issues with this, so I'm excited. And Afu Chan on art here is so good. I think fantastic. I love that. Okay, well, Samantha, we have a very small week next week.
Yes, I might be able to finish Kingdom Come.
It's amazing. We have 5 books.
Wow.
It's crazy. What do we have?
We have Absolute Carnage. Ooh. Okay, Deadpool #1?
It's a tie-in.
Okay.
I wanted to get this one just because I like Deadpool.
Right.
And I don't know. We'll see if it's good. I just wanted to see if it's okay.
Okay.
We only have 5 books, so why not?
Daredevil #10. Guardians of the Galaxy #8.
Another Donny Cates.
Powers of 10 #3.
By the way, I wanted to make a quick thing about that.
Okay.
So they've been alternating. We had
and now it's not alternating.
Not alternating. We have Powers of X Powers of 10. Sorry, #3 again. So yeah, I think we have Powers of 10, 2 and 3 together, and I think we have House of X 3 and 4 next to each other as well. Okay. So yeah.
All right, and then we're gonna try a new one called Bad Reception.
#1, which is written and drawn by Juan Doe. I know. I don't. Is that just an alias? Is that his name?
That'd be funny if it's like John Doe, but Juan Doe.
I don't know. I have no idea. But it's written and drawn by the same person.
That's awesome.
It is basically. It looks like it's a slasher story that is in comic format. I'm pumped. I am such a fucking nerd for horror movies, like slasher movies specifically. Mm-hmm. So I need something like that in comic format. I really do. So I'm really, really excited for this. And I'm also a sucker for the same writer and artist. Yeah. I don't know. For me, like I feel like I'm reading someone's entire creative vision, and that's something special to me. At least I don't know. So yeah, I'm really excited for all those. I'm really excited for a smaller week so I can get to work on some outside books as well. Mm-hmm. It's going to be great. But I think at this point, that's going to about do it for this week. If you all made it this far, thank you so much for listening. Pretty please, give us a review or star rating on iTunes. And if you enjoyed what you heard, please let someone know about us. We release episodes weekly on Sundays, usually. So be sure to check back next week. Or, better yet, subscribe to the podcast feed and never have to think about it. Valuable content. There's your valuable content for our introduction.
Nice.
You can do that. You can subscribe to the podcast feed on many different podcast apps. iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify. Sorry, I kind of said that weird. Google Play Music, TuneIn, Overcast, whichever one you prefer, we've got you
covered.
Nice. You can also find web archives of previous episodes at comicscovered.libsyn.com. That's LIBSYN.com. And on our YouTube channel. We are on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook under the handle @comicscovered. And if you want to get a hold of us with a question or feedback, send us a message on social media or email at 2comicscovered@gmail.com. Thank you again for listening. I have many good qualities, but I'm not going to share all of them right now.
And I'm Samantha. And I also have very good qualities.
I agree.
Thank you.
This has been Comics Covered.